It's a Victory Monday. Big Deke news. Obviously, we got to start today's show off with an injury update on the Steelers starting quarterback. Aaron Rodgers had to leave yesterday's game at halftime after getting smoked on a sack down by the goal line. And we were getting mixed reports on what was going on with Rodgers. Some were saying it was left wrist, left hand. Others were saying it was his throwing hand. Jerry Dulac said that it had something to do with Rodgers' throwing elbow, but now it's confirmed that it's actually Rodgers' left wrist. He has a small fracture. And Florio was saying Rodgers was trying to go back into yesterday's game, but the Steelers wouldn't let him. And Rappaport goes on NFL Network today and is saying that Rodgers has a pretty decent chance of playing against the Bears this week because of how minimal the fracture is.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is going to have a test this morning just to determine how long he is going to miss with his injured wrist, if he is going to miss time. Here is our understanding. This is something I've been reporting with colleague Tom Pelissero. Aaron Rodgers does have a tiny fracture in his left wrist. That is what the X-ray at the stadium revealed yesterday. The reason why he's going to have more tests after, you mentioned, a player landed on his wrist. It was torqued in a way. There was just too much pressure, and a bone ended up breaking. Aaron Rodgers, to my understanding, has told people close to him that he will be back very soon. He has told more people close to him that he does not want to miss a game. He is pushing to play in this game. I know it seems crazy because he broke a bone in his wrist, but it is a left wrist. If he's able to grip, if he's able to receive the ball on the snap, it is actually possible that Rodgers could play this week. I had someone tell me that he was essentially 50-50 to play this week.
So there you have it. Looks like we'll be seeing Rodgers sooner rather than later. He was seen after the game talking to teammates in the tunnel with a brace on his wrist tucked into his hoodie. And the fact that he wanted to get out there in the middle of this Bengals game, and it seems like he wants to play this week against the Bears, I guess it can't be that bad. It's probably just going to be more of a tolerance thing, if anything, because I don't really think fractures heal up that quickly. It's something you just got to wait on for like 4 to 6 weeks. So likely he'd be playing with some sort of brace, it being taped up. If he can handle the potential pain and he doesn't have to risk re-injuring it or it getting worse, then why not be out there next week? Because this is one of those situations, even though me personally, I would like to see Mason for another week or two. If Rodgers is saying he's good to go, then he's your starter. You can't have the whole back and forth thing and waffle on this, especially because you only got to see Mason for a half. But me personally, again, I wouldn't mind having Rodgers really try to heal up that wrist and see what Mason can do for a couple more weeks, just because of how the offense looked with Mason, how comfortable he was out there. But I feel like if Rodgers saying he's good to go, even though the Steelers told him to sit out the second half of that Bengals game, if Florio's telling the truth with that, then I think Rodgers is going to play. I do. Against the Bears, too, against a team that he owns from all of his days back with the Packers in the NFC North.
For the score.
In Chicago Stadium, he wants to get one last dub there. I think they're going to let him start this game. But, I mean, you saw last year the whole Russ and Fields scenario. Russ was saying he's good to go with the calf, and Tomlin Steelers kept pushing back that decision, let Fields get some time. We go 4-2 with Fields for 6 weeks, and then ultimately we turn to Russ. I just wonder if, we could play it that way in this instance too, and just be like, Rodgers, we want to make sure you're as close to 100% as possible before coming back with this wrist. We'll see a week or two with Mason. It's not going to happen, though. I don't think so. You can't be doing that type of waffling middle of the season, especially the dynamic that Tomlin and Rodgers have and the respect that they have for each other. I don't see there being any quarterback controversy, point blank, period. The question is, should there be? At this point, no. Not after seeing Mason for only a half. But if Rodgers misses a couple weeks and Mason's lighting it up, the offense looks the best it has all season, then maybe we could start talking. But I don't even think we're going to get to that point because based off what we're hearing right now, I think Rodgers really wants to play. And I love that. From a leadership standpoint, that's how it should be. Aaron Rodgers at age 41, and I talked about this with Jalen Ramsey a little bit, Rodgers, Ramsey, these type of guys, they've accomplished everything you could ask for in their career pretty much. Rodgers, Super Bowl, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And he's on the back half, I mean, really almost like the back whole of his career. He doesn't got to go out there middle of the game after you're dealing with a fracture in your wrist. You don't got to do that. But the fact that he wanted to, and then he wants to literally go back out there this week, despite dealing with this fracture, it's like, you respect that, man. You do. Because it goes to show Rodgers is, in fact, a good teammate. He's all about the team. He's all in. Despite some of the rumors and reckless speculation that was coming out last week after Rodgers and the offense's poor Sunday Night Football performance. I mean, this would say the opposite, right? Like, dude has everything going for him in life. He's almost done with his NFL career. Doesn't have to go out there and potentially permanently damaging his wrist or anything like that, re-injuring. He could just chill, right? He definitely could. But the fact that despite being injured, he wants to get back out there, I think it says a lot. I do definitely appreciate that. And again, based off everything we're hearing about Rodgers' injury, I think he's going to be out there next week against the Bears. But in other news, we got some more updates with the Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey incident. Jalen confirmed that Jamar Chase, in fact, did spit on him. That's why he reacted the way that he did and consequently got tossed.
He spit on me, so it's up. I don't give a football after that, respectfully. I'm always going to be all for trash talking and stuff like that. I actually enjoy that part of the game. I think people know that. But and that's what we was doing. I mean, after the first one, the first little thing, the play before, he tried to like crack block me or whatever. You know what I mean? I got up off that, and then we got up talking whatever, and he snatched my mouthpiece off my face mask, and then that's when I mushed his face mask, and then whatever. That was just a little scuffle. But the refs told us right there, like, hey, y'all chill, no more of this. Cool, so, I'm knowing, like, all right, no more, let's talk, let's keep it clean so, everybody staying in, whatever. The next play, we was talking for real, which I'm cool with. And then, yeah, as soon as he spit, it was, I mean, yeah, I ain't gonna tolerate that part of it. So,
whereas Jamar Chase denies spitting on Jalen Ramsey.
I ain't spit on nobody.
Even though we have footage of Jamar Chase spitting on Jalen Ramsey. So first you spit, which is absolutely disrespectful, and then you lie about it. Come on, bro. I don't blame Jalen Ramsey for reacting the way he did, and the NFL is going to be investigating this. Jalen Ramsey should not be suspended at all. It's Jamar Chase. He is the one that should be suspended, probably fined, whatever. I mean, I don't think anyone can blame Jalen Ramsey for his reaction. Unfortunately, it did cost Jalen Ramsey the fourth quarter of that game, but I think it's understandable. Tomlin had this to say about it, though, after the game.
Did you get any explanation of what happened with Jalen Ramsey, what led to him popping off against Jamar Chase?
I didn't need any. It doesn't matter. We gotta be smarter. We gotta stay in football games as individuals.
As much as we can defend how Jalen Ramsey reacted, and how it's completely understandable, I don't think Tomlin's words here or his approach to this is wrong either, being the coach, being the leader of the team, and trying to get everyone on one accord, because imagine if something like this happened in the playoffs. Now, this was a high-stakes game in and of itself. Regular season against the Bengals, AFC North opponents. What if something like that took place second half against the Chiefs, one-score game in the playoffs, right? It's like, bro, we wouldn't blame you for reacting that way. But if we're talking about doing what you can for the team, doing what you can for the teammates, like, we need you out there. If you could keep your cool as best as possible, that would be better. But again, I don't think anyone can really blame Ramsey for how he handled the situation yesterday. It is something to think about, though, with how Tomlin reacted to it as the season wanes on and the games get more and more high stakes. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point again, right? We don't have one of these type of situations pop up. But I did say I liked the edge that Jalen Ramsey had in this game. I like the edge that he's been playing with. I think he's really embodying what it means to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, one of those throwback players that we talk about from the mid-2000s to early 2010s. We were talking on the live stream yesterday, guys from the 70s, 80s, 90s, like that, just that throwback Steeler mentality. And Jalen Ramsey brings that to the table, and unfortunately, a situation like this escalates the way that it did, and, Jamar Chase is just flat out right in the wrong. He's the guy in the wrong here, right? He's the dude in the wrong. He's the guy that should be getting suspended and fined by the NFL. Jalen Ramsey, he just reacted to a completely disrespectful act by Jamar Chase, and in a very understandable way. No, but that's it for that. Let's get to, since it's a Victory Monday, and I said on Big Deke News, we're going to highlight the top players from these Steelers victories. My 3 stars from yesterday's game. At number 3, Kenneth Gainwell. I think there's a couple names you could argue to put in this position. I'm a quarterback guy, offense guy. Was thinking Mason Rudolph just because of how the energy shifted in that second half when he was in the game. The offense was moving the ball at a better clip compared to the first half when Mason was in there. So I thought he was a difference maker. But with him only playing for a half, I didn't think I could go that far with him, put him in the 3 stars with all the other players that played so well in this game. Herbig, I think you could throw in there. Honorable mention, Darnell Washington did really good. I don't think I highlighted him enough on yesterday's show, to be honest with you, because there's this stat that keeps popping up out there. Every time Darnell gets at least 40 snaps, the Steelers win and have never lost. And up to this point, now it's 9-0 after yesterday's game. Another one where Darnell gets at least 40 snaps. We win. Coincidence? I think not. I'm really starting to think that Darnell is the Steelers' tight end 1. And if he isn't, he should be, based off those metrics of when Darnell Washington gets over 40 snaps, we win games. Like, every time the dude gets the ball, he makes plays. Obviously, he's our best run-blocking tight end. Aaron Rodgers really likes utilizing him. Saw what he did yesterday with both Rodgers and Mason. It's like, bro, what are we doing here? Dude's a weapon. He poses a big-time threat to the defenses. They don't know what the hell we're doing on offense. Feels like when he's out there, it's not a tell. There's certain guys, whenever they're out there, and we saw that with Najee Harris in the past, it's like whenever he's out there, we're running it like 80, 85% of the time. Darnell Washington, you don't know what we're doing, but it just so happens that he's a big-time difference maker in both the passing game and the run game. How are you going to cover him in the passing game? And then in the run game, he's basically like a 6th offensive lineman out there. So, yeah, Darnell, maybe you can make an argument. He didn't get a touchdown, but you saw the stiff arm. You saw how that electrified the stadium, all that type of stuff. Also think you could throw TJ in the conversation. He played well. Patrick Queen had a good game. I liked what Malik Harrison did. Basically, everyone on defense. Joey Porter Jr. played good. He's stacking up good performances. But for number 3, Kenneth Gainwell, because of the 2 touchdowns. The efficiency in the passing game, 7 receptions for 81 yards. That's 11.6 per pop. Run game wasn't as good, 9 carries, 24 yards. But overall, to have a performance like that from start to finish with over 100 all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns, Kenneth Gainwell gets the 3rd star spot. Now at number 2, I'm going with Kyle Duggar. Had the pick 6 right at the right time. And the dude has been an absolute godsend for our defense. He was a player that was an afterthought for that Patriots team. And now with the Steelers, he's legitimately one of the best players just on the defensive side of the ball, but also the whole team. Like, he's been lights out, absolutely lights out. And we didn't have him for that first Bengals matchup. We have him for this one, and we see what our secondary and our defense do against the same players. It's Flacco, it's Higgins, it's Chase Brown. Locked them down completely, and Duggar was a part of that, no doubt, but also James Pierre, who gets my number 1 star, was a part of that too. I mean, dude was locked down. Dude was locked down in coverage. I don't want to jinx him by saying Pierre Island's back or Pierre Island's real or anything like that, but you got the splash, you got the scoop and score off the fumble for the touchdown, and the fact that Jamar Chase, T. Higgins didn't really do anything against our defense. Pierre had some really nice pass deflections. Even though he's not the most talented guy out there must be something to just being a late bloomer and having development take its course, because we've seen James Pierre before against these Bengals teams and going up against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and it doesn't look as good as it did yesterday.
He's gotten better with each and every year he's been here. with his roles and his ability to respond to opportunity and so forth. There's a veteran high level of consistency that we're seeing right now. That's why I talked about him the way I talked about him, I think, on Tuesday.
Both Pierre and also JPJ, everyone in that secondary had an awesome game. Jalen Ramsey, too, had an awesome game yesterday. Like, it's not an easy task. We talked about how the Bengals offense wasn't just lighting us up on Thursday Night Football with Flacco. They were doing it in the games after that as well. And Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, two of the top receivers in this league. Joe Flacco was catching a groove with them, had really good chemistry. They were putting up 30 points per game, 30-plus points per game, and airing it out, tons of yards. But then going up against us and a defense that has been so up and down, helter-skelter, Jekyll and Hyde, especially in the secondary, it's like that was a top-notch performance by the guys on the back end. And on the front end, too, we were getting pressure on Flacco, Hayward, Keanu Benton, Y.A. Black, T.J. Watt, Herbig, Malik Harrison, Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson. All those dudes really stepped up as well. So credit all around to the defense. That was a great performance. Got the splash. You had the sound defense, the sound coverage, the sound pass rush, the run stop, all that stuff was on display yesterday. And we got out of there with a good win, man. Really solid win, and we'll see if we can keep the momentum going, which is something we consistently say after some of these nice wins, and then you know how it goes after that. So just taking it a game at a time, man. Just taking it a game at a time. I think that might be the best approach. Everything's house money with this season and this Steelers team. But that's it for today's show. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Stay chilling. Peace.